Thank you.
Thank you. Gagan Mohindra. Mr. Mohindra.
Thank you, Chairman. Mr. McArthur, my question's to do with the impact of the Gambling Commission. How do you track that? And given the current COVID-19 pandemic, how are you ensuring that the GC remains as positive, impactful as possible? You mentioned the structural change to the industry moving towards mobile online. In some ways, that's a hidden danger. It's easier to track people's gambling if they're going physically into a bookies or another. So I just wanted your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, tracking impact is a challenge. That's undoubtedly true, and it's part of the reason why we were so welcoming of the NEO's report, because it's been an area that we've been focused on for a while. I should just though say, in terms of online gambling, there's a perception that somehow online gambling is not regulated as firmly as premises-based gambling, and that isn't correct. You have to be licensed by us. We impose stringent requirements both to get a license and then make our expectations clear. And what online gambling gives you is perfect information about the consumer, about their behavior, when they're betting, what they're betting on, shifts in their behavior, changes in playing patterns. And we expect operators to use all of that information in terms of player safety, not just use that information for commercial purposes. So we've pushed very hard in relation to that. In terms of impact, I think we can measure impact in some qualitative ways. You can see, for example, that there has been a significant shift in tone at the top of operators, with operators putting safer gambling at the top of their agenda. So when I meet their boards, it's at the front of their agenda. You can see operators shifting their remuneration arrangements so that safer gambling now becomes part of executive remuneration rather than being about commercial. And you can also see in the actions that the trade associations and the change in tone, for example, from the PGC.
So, Mr. McArthur, if I can just cut in there, I think you're suggesting the industry is trying to be proactive. My concern, reading this report and questions building on from Richard Holden, is that the GC seems to be reactive rather than proactive for the industry. And how would you answer that challenge?
Well, in the context of online gambling, I would start with the work that the Gambling Commission did with government in 2014 to have the law changed, which moved online gambling to a point where it was all licensed by the Gambling Commission. We moved to a point of consumption regulation regime. And that was a really important step because most online gambling up to then was taking place offshore, unregulated by us. So we've been regulating the online market since 2015. In 2018, we did a review of online gambling where we set out a number of policy areas to proactively drive up standards. And what we've done in relation to that is increase protections for age verification and customer identification. We've made GamStop mandatory so that you can self-exclude from all operators at once. We've improved protections around customer interaction, and we've pushed consistently both through our policy work and through our enforcement work to raise standards. And I think that is setting a framework where the debate has shifted. Operators understand that player safety is their responsibility, and that has been significantly due to pressure applied by the Gambling Commission.
So one final question, if I may.
One very quick one, Mr. Mohindra, we do need to move on.
A very quick one. Mr. McArthur, in a word, is the General Gambling Commission effective, yes or no?
Yes, but there is always more to do, I'm sorry.